Young scientists, another episode or our Munting Siyensaya where learning becomes easy to answer your what's, why's, and how question. Because learning is fun and never stop. I'm Teacher Novi. Come, join me on our science adventure.
Hello kids! I'm Teacher Novi, your grade 5 science teacher. At the end of this lesson, you are going to describe the reproductive parts in the plants and their functions. Identify the different reproductive parts of a plant and differentiate the cross-pollination from self-pollination of a plant. Hi kids! How are you today? Before we start on our new lesson, let's have a recap. Let's arrange the jumbled letters. Morning! Welcome to our garden. It's so refreshing and relaxing in this place. That's why, during this quarantine, I'm dedicating my extra time to nurture more plants and they called me Certified Plant Tita. Do you know the name of this flower? Yes, correct! This is a hibiscus or commonly known as gomamela here in the Philippines, with a scientific name of Hibiscus rosa sinensis. Hibiscus are perfect flowers and a complete flowers too. Reproduction is an important part of all living things because it ensures continuity of life. All living things have lifespan. They produce young ones like themselves during their life cycle so that their species may not endanger or extinct.
Let's try to answer this.
Reproduction is a process of new offspring in plants, which can be by sexual and asexual reproduction.
Sexual reproduction produces offspring by the fusion of gametes. Gametes are reproductive cells, resulting in offspring genetically different from the parent.
Now, here are the parts of the flower. Petal. Attract insect to ensure pollination. Sepal. protects flower while in bud. Receptacle, stalk where parts of the flower are attached. Stamen, male reproductive part, which consists of anther that produce the pollen which contains male sperm cells, and filament, a fine hair-like stalk that holds or supports the anther. Pistil, it's a female reproductive part. It consists of stigma, which is sticky bulb that lies at the center of the flower. Style, this is the long stalk that the stigma sits on top. And ovary, the part of the plant which usually bottom of the flower where fertilization takes place, which contains the eggs or ovules. Pollination. Pollination occurs when the pollen grains from the anther land on a stigma. There are two types of pollination. The cross-pollination. It occurs when the pollen glues to the stamen of one flower to the pistil of another flower. The self-pollination. It occurs when the pollen is transferred from stamen of one flower to the pistil of the same flower.
We're done with sexual reproduction. Now, let's go to asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction produces new organisms without the fusions of gametes, genetically identical to the parent plant and each other. For you to better understand, look at these examples. Vegetative reproduction is a form of asexual reproduction. It may involve roots or leaves, but most often modified stems.
Rhizomes. They are specialized stems that grow horizontally underground. Stolons. Stems are grow horizontally above the ground and often seeking light or below the soil surface. Bulbs. They are the underground shoots with leaves that store foods. Root grows from the bottom of the bulb. Tubers. They are the underground stems that develop roots. The stems and roots appeared like growing points called eyes. Corms. Short, vertical, swollen stem have one or more internodes.
Why do we need to know the importance of plant reproduction? Correct! Because plants provide food, shelter, and medicines. They release oxygen into the atmosphere,
Absorb carbon dioxide, provide habitat and food for wildlife and humans. Now, let's have a recall. Plants can reproduce by means of sexual and asexual reproductions. Sexual reproduction reproduces through self-pollination and cross-pollination, while in asexual reproduction, it is by vegetative reproduction. Let's try to answer this. Let's identify again parts of the flower. Petal, sepal, receptacle, anther, filament, stigma, style, and ovary. Good job, kids!
Plants help the environment in many ways. To the process of photosynthesis. Plants release oxygen back in the atmosphere. Plants create habitats for many organisms.
On May 15, 2020, the Philippine Congress officially passed a bill stating that all students from elementary, high school, and college must plant at least 10 trees in order to graduate. RA 10176, an act of reviving the observance or Arbor Day by authorizing the local government units' responsibilities for celebrating the day for tree planting as an annual event.
Thank you for an amazing lesson today. See you on our next episode of Munting Saya. This is Teacher Novi. Hashtag keep well and safe.